Hey guys, this is Cruise Roy, and this is the FW450 Fly Wing. It's a 450 series with the H1 heli controller on it. Recently I did a belt stay because people are saying that if their belt comes loose, it could come loose in flight. So I don't know if this will help anybody out. I haven't even tested it yet, so whoever prints these, I'll give you the file. The file will be on the Facebook page, and I did an upgrade to the one from yesterday. I made it a hair thinner so it fits in the slots a lot easier, but I also added, if you can see it, this little clip-on edge so it bites into the carbon fiber. Alright, and then if you notice, if I can put a shadow line here, each side has a little bit of a bump. They have a little bit of a bump right here, and what that is for, it's gonna push on the belt when it comes as a V. Hopefully I can show you that, but it'll come by and it puts a little pressure like a guide, but they're plastic, so it's not like having a ball bearing. They might wear out over time, but it's going to give you that extra pressure. Then of course, again, the ventilation holes, because a lot of ventilation needs to go through to get to the engine. It draws it up through the bottom and also from the blades pushing it down. But fortunately, just one design fits on both sides, the left and right hand side. So all you need to do is print two of them. And I mean, the critical spots on the FW450, it's like right here. The belt's rubbing up against the carbon fiber. Alright, so what happens is the belt's gonna wear out. I mean, it's just right on there, and as it pulls, when it's rotating, it even puts a lot more pressure on there. So this is something they need to look at. Most of my SAB birds have a dual pulley system. This one only has a single, and this belt is gliding right across this carbon fiber. On the other side, it's okay because the idler is pushing it over, but if they had an idler on this side, it'd be a lot better. And that's what it is too. The idler spring is pretty soft, so after a few flights, the belt starts to get a little loose. But at least if you're flying, I'm hoping that these belt stays protect you from the belt just flying off, and you can come down to a landing instead of this belt just kind of, because if you notice, see, I can just pull it off with my finger. But during rotation, it supposedly lines itself up because the pinion has guides. This should have had guides. This main gear should have had guides that would hold the belt in place. Even if it came loose, the most you would get is a grind out of the cog, and you'd replace the belts. So let's see how these go in. Alright, the ventilated part facing down. You want to lock it into one side of the carbon fiber. You see how that locks in now? I don't know if you can see that, but it locks right in to the carbon fiber. And now you want to line it up straight. Trying to do this while looking at the camera. And you put a little pressure on it till you hear a click. See? Nice click. This thing's solid as a rock. It bites in there, bites in there. I'm using, you know, like a 15% infill. And you're still getting air up underneath. Flip it upside down. You're still getting air up underneath. And if you can see in there, which it's hard, that the little tiny foot. I'll show you this one. This little tiny foot here is putting pressure against this belt, keeping it off the carbon fiber. I'd rather see it melt this than melt the carbon fiber. The carbon fiber is a lot stronger than this. This will take a little bit of heat, and the carbon fiber will actually shred the blade. I was kind of looking real close at that, and it's kind of a, they need to bump it over just a hair. Alright, so that's one side. Let's go over here to the other side. Alright, so same thing. It's got these little notches on there. Little, I'll call them little guides right here. The first version didn't have this, and it was like you'd pop them in and they'd fall through, and I didn't want them to fall through during flight, so I added the little lip. Alright, so put it on this side, lock it right in, bring it over here. Again, on this side, you want to push and click. You hear that click? Alright, and there it is. And like I said, it has that little tiny guide at the bottom. If the belt comes down, it can ride against. Also has the two little foot pads on either end. Kind of keep it centered. So, this is Cruiseroy with the FW450. It's a version 2. These are only for the version 2. I do not have a version 1. If it's needed, I would need a piece of frame to kind of design one. But hope this helps someone out. I'll put it on the page, and you guys can download them and print them all you want. And if you need to print them for somebody else, you can be helpful and do that. Thanks. This is Cruiseroy, and I'm out of here.